Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Let's go, D.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
On 1st and 10, King. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Let's go next. 54 on the base. 54. We got go. Check, check. Fresno.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Looking to throw. King. And it's complete. Henry. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They'll get just a couple, but the sticks move again.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Buddy up. 53 is the mic. Blue day, blue day. 61. Match box. Right.
King on 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. He'll try and run it. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Get the ball.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Back to throw. King. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
So don't say nothing.
53 to Mike.
Now King, operating from the gun. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And the decision. To bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Down.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Hey, foxtrot. Ready?
Jones now from the gun, he'll throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
Come on,
So
set.
after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Delta.
Hey. 4 down.
Get it.
Now Jones to throw again. Gets us out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Set. 50. Plant. Hey, seam 6.
6 to Mike. 46 to Mike. Here we go, G. Here I come again. 46.
Look at me. Zipper.
Drop D.
Let go.
From the gun, Jones. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is taken at the 23.
Let's go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up. He's one.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Too little, cut. Wide. Get wide. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
King now, looking to throw on second down. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. To throw is King. Throwing on third and long. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Set, ready? 30 base. Hey, wahoo!
51 the mic, boy, 51. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Here's Jones on 1st down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
At the 18-yard line.
Ready, ready! 8, read.
In the face. Check. Switch. Check 3. Check. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
On 2nd down now, Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Let's go. 60 or.
In your face. Dude.
Yep.
No. Slam.
Shoot.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on fourth down.
Back. Watch the shift. Hey, watch the shift.
61, matchbox, light.
10, under 10. Shift, watch the shift. He's checking. Crash. Shift.
I'll go. Snap.
They'll try and run for it. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Hatchet. Check your hot read. Check 99. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Hey, switch gears.
Hit it.
Now Saquon Barkley. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Mike's 47. Yeah. Check 37. Shift.
Tight dog. X3, 218, chopper. Ready.
On the toss, there goes Coleman. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The defense stiffens to force fourth down following that first down gain of 8. Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
I'm going to come back to you.
Penny, the first down carry. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's King to throw on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Off the play fake. King.
And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check 31, check 31.
Operating from the gun, King. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
It's your time, baby. We did our part.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
We got 4. We got 4. 24 is the mic. It's just me and you. It's now. 24 is the mic.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback.
Jones operating from the gun. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
First down, New York.
We go set. 90 Wolf.
Watch the screen. 24's the mic.
Jones now throwing on first down. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Intended for Darius Slayton. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Yeah.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
That's a
6-6, pull it high.
Check hot route. Hot. Watch safety creep. Creeping.
Now.
They'll run on first down. Barkley.
Check 15.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
You got to get the ball. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Check.
Go.
On second down, Barkley, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Ready. 30 base.
Good dash. Go.
Hey.
We got motion. Back up.
Ready.
On the draw, this is Goldman. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for New York. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
24-yard line.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. King, off play action. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
Now King, throwing on 3rd and long. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Returning is Peppers. Good coverage there, an even 50-yard punt. Leads to a return of 5. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Rush in. Switch. Check 26.
Again, it's Barkley. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go now. 60 or.
Man, I got you. Hey, watch it.
Go.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 1st down, Jones. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
24 is the mic. Watch the run. 24 is the mic. Oh, you got deep?
Back to throw. Jones. That's complete to Slayton. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Hey, look.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, Alpha.
24's the mic.
Hey, D-line, let's
Yep.
let's get in there now.
24's the mic.
Come on, D.
Shoot.
Here's Jones on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Slam. Showing up.
Let's go, Penny.
Gallman will run it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Down to the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Giants on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Hey.
I got motion, man. Me. I got this. 20 to go.
Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Saquon Barkley denied on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, 4th quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
We're about to find out. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They begin with a run by Penny. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything. But in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You've got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball because keeping on the ground, just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. King now. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Check three. Bang, 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 bang.
Throwing on 3rd and long. King. And a throw there going to be incomplete. DeAndre Baker, the first corner chosen in this year's draft, there to make the play defensively.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The field flipper there, a 47-yard punt coupled with a loss on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Meanwhile, in Foxborough, there in the 4th quarter. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be just their 2nd of the year if they could hold on. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Shift. 36. Yes. 51. 5.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. Exit. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
24 is the mic.
Jones operating from the gun. Catch made by Slayton. Well, a heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down.
Hey, let's go. Go. Check it. 61, matchbox lights.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
General West.
On third down, Barkley. And he's stopped at the 44. It's also a gain of 4, and now it's fourth down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there. 51 the mic.
Go.
It's coming this way. It's coming this way. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Go, Mike.
Ready?
Jones now throwing on 4th down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. A gain of 6 there on first. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. There's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
This fielded at the 2. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely...
And this is going to be intercepted. intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And what an effort on the final play of regulation. All zeros on the clock, and we are headed to OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Twisting away. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Barkley. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Tighten up, pull it together.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
A first down carry for Barkley. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The yardage numbers for him just keep piling up for his career. He's now toppled, Charles, the 11,000-yard mark.
And just think about that. For most NFL running backs in their career, it feels like if they get to 1,000 yards, they've had a nice little run. He's over 11,000 yards, probably beyond his wildest dreams.
Check three.
You draw quarters.
Watch twins. Watch the eye. Switch.
On 2nd down now, Barkley, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Ready up.
51 the mic.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense. Big grip.
Now Gallman. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 9-yard line. A huge play there in overtime. 45 yards. So a huge gain on the ground here puts him into a wonderful spot. And remember, of course, a touchdown wins it.
And we're in overtime, right? So you have to think defense has been out there for 4 quarters. Might be a little bit tired. The attrition of the game may have led to that long run.
Ready? 50, plant.
Go. Switch.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Check three.
Six, pull it high.
He's checking crowd.
Shoot.
This is Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Biggest play now in this opening drive of overtime. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Barkley. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Giants, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.